Hi, this is Everett, Everett's Watercolors. Welcome to Simply Drawing with Everett. Now today I'm going to do another drawing exercise. And last week we did something, and I'm going to do a little more lettering today, but that's a different lettering and so forth. But let's go take a look at my drawing table and let me get started. Okay, I found another can on my walking tour, my walking trip, which I do every week, 2 or 3 times a week. And I found this can. It had interesting interesting design, and the lettering was very unique. So I thought we'd try that one today. So let's get started here. I'm going to take this is a piece of drawing paper, 8.5 by 11, just simple plain copy paper. And this is a 2B pencil. We'll get started here. So start with a general shape here. Pretty straightforward. This is going to be a cylindrical shape, which will have basically it'll look like a rectangle sideways here, but it has a little top on it. And about this one, now you have to plan on the size of the lettering you need, so you make enough space. Estimate how wide you want that, so you get the lettering on it. I think that's going to be wide enough right there. And we'll get it. We'll put it in with pencil first before we go any further. Before we put the final touch on it. Okay. So I think the critical thing is probably the lettering. So let's get down here about a fourth of the way down. 1, 2, 3, 4. About the fourth of the way down to the bottom, from the bottom, about right here. Now you see here the lettering now. That's not. You got just a little bit on the side. You can see just a little bit of that first letter. So that's what I'm going to do. Just a little bit here would look at just what I see now. And now the next letter is unique. It's different. That's why I picked this up and I said, well, this will be interesting to draw also. So I'm doing with pencil. I'm doing in pencil to get the spacing. Make sure I got enough space on the shape that I have here. Then the next letter. That's different also. That's for different fonts. This is a special font here. Not a font, but a bunch of letters. This has a different shape. It's a little bit longer down here, so there it comes down this way. I'm going to have to make this a much larger than I thought, so we're going to continue on. Let's see if I'm going to run out of room here. But that's what you have to do. You have to plan the space you need. Or I can make the letters smaller. I might do a compromise here. I might bring the letters in a little bit smaller into the size here. So we'll do that. I'll kind of move it over a little bit. But I'm going to make it a little bit wider now than I had planned on. And this letter here is very hard to see in the photograph or there's a little letter, there's an R out there too. Okay. So I'm come out a little bit wider now than what I planned on. And because of the shape, I'm going to have to go up a little bit higher. So here's a good example of when you get started is to start with a plan and then make adjustments there as you go along. So I have to make it a little bit larger to fit the scale of the lettering. I'll start with the lettering first. That to me is the most important, well, the critical part. Okay, now I've got to erase some of these marks here I made. The rest of this little section here I put in. Okay. Right, now we'll get into the little design here. So I start up here at the top. It's about the third up here, this section here. So this shape here I thought was interesting. Again, I'm going to get the size. So this comes down a little bit, and it's got some curves to it. It comes all the way down here, and it goes back up, and it comes over. And there's a longer middle piece here, almost down to the bottom here. It comes up. So this is really using your drawing skills that we've learned in the past couple years now. We've been drawing together. So if you've been watching some of my other videos, drawing what you see, it's just outline drawing. You just look at the shape and just draw what you see. This happens to be a little bit the shortest one on the side. So this is middle. This middle one's large, medium, and small as far as length is concerned. So that's critical there as far as getting a representation of what you're looking at. Okay, all right. So I've got basically got the roughness in now. Okay, now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use my ink pen. This is permanent ink. So we'll go ahead and start drawing it. And I think I'll go ahead and put the letters in first. They seem to be the critical things. So I'll start with the lettering. And I'll go over here. This up here starts now part way. This is the next letter, which is an O, but it's nothing you've ever seen in another font. And then the next letter is an N. It's got a wider, a thicker section here. A longer mark there. And this is this interesting here. This letter here, S. It goes up, comes down. This is what got my interest with the shape. Always looking for something different to draw. This one goes down a little bit lower, below the N. And then this next letter is the T. It has a slant on the bottom. And then we have an E. This R is around the corner, so we should just see part of it. This on the outside edge. Let me go ahead and add a little more dimension here to these letters now. This one here is a little thicker. I'll use the ink pen now to get the shape of the letters. This is a little bit thicker here. This has a little mark on the top. And then this S, I'm going to fill this in. And the T. And the E. A little thicker. The R is just barely on the edge. What you can see there, on the photo, and if I rotate it just slightly, you'll see the R. There's the R there on the end. If I rotated the can just slightly. It depends on how you're looking at it, but there's the lettering right there. Okay. All right. Then we draw the outside edge. Go ahead and put that in. And freehand. I'm going to freehand the edge here. Just do a freehand straight line. And it's usually, if you do segments, you sometimes you get a straight line if you do a segment, rather than try to do the whole line at one time, like this. And then going around the corner here. Again, if you do the straight line in segments, it look a little bit rougher, but it looks handmade because you got segments here rather than a crooked line. Up there, and then we'll put the top of the can on. Around it there, it goes up. That has a little top to it. And what I'll do is I'll put a little edge. There's a layer. It's not marked this way, but it's an edge that goes around. And there's a little lip at the top. Draw that in. Top of the can. Okay, now let's put this figure here in the center. This is what was interesting, I thought. I'll start over here in the corner. Go across the top. And then get that little edge there. And all you're doing is just going to follow the diagram. It's got a couple bumps on the side over here. Then it comes down to a point. It goes back up. It has another couple curves in here. And there's one in the center now. It's a larger one. This has a curve to it. We'll exaggerate that a little bit. This comes down a little bit longer. It goes back up. More bumps and curves. And the last one will fit in here. We'll start at the bottom here. It's a little bit wider on this section. I'm just following a contour. I'm looking at what I'm looking at and just doing the contour. It's a little bit shorter than the rest of them. This one comes out a little bit with a little bit of a curve to it. There. Okay. Well, there's the outline there. Now, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my 4B pencil. I'll take my 4B pencil and I'm going to shade in this little shape here. Because it's shaped in the can. I'm not going to paint the can. or draw the can color, leave that white. It's a light gray, but I'm going to leave it white and gray this in with a pencil to give me the marks that are on there, give me the values here that are on the drawing. This is darker than the can color, so white and gray, as far as that's concerned. Okay, well, this was interesting little shape, and I think the lettering was also interesting. So again, that's my drawing of the can, and I made the lettering look like it goes off to the sides here to give it the round shape here. I'm not going to shade it in. That's something we could add. We could add shading to the edge of the can and so forth, but that's not necessary. And the background not necessary. We're going to erase some of the unnecessary lines there. So, okay, well that completes my drawing of the that can. I thought that was an interesting shape, and I thought the lettering was a lot different. And if you look at the can, a little banged up a little bit, but you can see the shape there, the lettering, and the shape of the design on there. I thought that was interesting. Okay, all right. Well, that completes my drawing for today. So let's go back to my main camera. Okay, that was a lot of fun. Really drawing anything again, just not by luck or whatever, but just as I'm out walking around and seeing things, I'm always observing. Find something interesting, and then either take a sketch of it, take a picture of it, or what we're going to do here. Here I could pick it up and bring it back and clean it up a little bit. So I could show it as a drawing part. Then I thought it'd be a great drawing exercise to show how to put different lettering on a curve, a little bit, and also add in a different shape on there and so forth. It doesn't matter. The drawing is just following the contour of what you're seeing. Your eye, you just follow. You look down that contour, and then you move your pencil as you follow your eye movement. And then you put that on there, and that's how you do it. That's what contour drawing is. I did a simple outline first, and then I went back in after I got the sizing and so forth. Then I went back in and added a detail with a pen, and then a little bit of shading at the end to show a little bit of definition. All right. Well, that concludes today's demonstration of a drawing of a unique object. Just a different shape and also a different lettering. I love lettering. I think I told you that in the past. I love to do letters of all kinds and all shapes. So until next week, you all stay safe. I'll be back next week with another Simply Drawing with Everett, another drawing exercise. And also I'm back on Thursdays with Everett's Watercolors with watercolor demonstration. So you can catch each one. If you subscribe to my channel, you'll be notified of both of those videos. All my videos are on there. And I have over 950 videos on YouTube, so you can have a good time checking those out and learn some things about drawing, maybe painting, and those should help you in your journey in art. So until next week, you all stay safe. Give me a thumbs up and a like, and subscribe to my channel. I appreciate that. And recommend me to your friends. Tell them where I am and how to get on there. EverettsWatercolors.com on YouTube. All right, so thank you, and we'll see you on the next video. Bye.